Hello, everyone.
I'm Batman.
No, actually, this is just Brian. Feeling a little giddy this morning. Haven't had my coffee yet. I've been thinking, I think all the time, as you may know, if you follow me on a regular basis, about the lessons of my life that I think would hopefully be a value to you as well. And one of those lessons that, actually, one of my greatest teachers is my health. There's this saying that if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. Well, if you don't have your health, you still have your awareness, you still have your focus. And your health, in many cases, is a result of the body you're given as opposed to the body you want. I see people starting to chime in now. That's a wonderful thing. And I jokingly say that my body was made in China, of substandard parts and so on, which is one of the reasons why I focus so heavily on the development of my mind, because it's one of the things that is consistently available to me. And I was thinking back to a few months ago. As part of the Ehlers Danlos that I have, there are days when my body is racked with pain, and regardless of the medication and so on. And that's a reality. And I remember a couple months ago where my nerve pain was really off the charts. My whole body hurt, and I couldn't get out of bed. And so I realized that I was going to be in bed for a while, and my body was tempted, or my mind rather was tempted to go to this woe was me place, to sit there and be bitter and resentful and feel sorry for myself. And I realized that, another thing you might know about me is that I've been practicing Buddhism for over 25 years, and mindfulness is the foundation of everything that I do. And what I realized in that moment is that, as part of being mindful, of being aware of whatever arises, especially in my own mind, looking at what's happening in my mind instead of running from it is an essential part of my practice, which means I practice everything. My thoughts about my breakfast, my thoughts about, ooh, that hurt just a moment ago. Did the thought of, oh, it shouldn't be like that, or I wish today could be better. Any of those things that come up as part of my practice is part of my awareness to look at it and say, that's interesting. Let's watch this for a while. And that day that I was in that much pain, the real core, the real key lesson of that day is, instead of trying to suppress my pain, because the meds weren't working, I didn't know what else was available to me. The thoughts that were coming up, a key part of being mindful is to not run from your experience. One of the core virtues of our consumer culture is our desire to run from things. The TV shows that we watch, the apps, the games, all that stuff is based upon our desire to run. And there are people that say, well, sometimes you just need to, distract yourself or get your mind off of things. Okay, if that's what you see. One of the people I follow is named Seth Godin, and he said, instead of yearning for Friday every single week, why not instead design and construct a life you don't feel the desire to run from? And that's very valuable information. One of the things that I teach my clients is how to compassionately embrace your life, even the things that are not as comfortable or not as enjoyable, how to embrace them in a compassionate way instead of always feeling the need to run. Because so much of our suffering is caused by all of the shoulds. It shouldn't be this way. It shouldn't be like this. This is not the life I envisioned. And you spend so much time being bitter, resentful, upset, angry, frustrated, bursting out at other people simply because you want to run from the moment you're having. Think about that. You're yelling at people to stop it. Don't be like this. It shouldn't be this way. You want to tell people, stop what you're doing. Help me run from this experience, instead of understanding it, instead of using it as my teacher. instead of using it as an opportunity to be more flexible, more resilient, more patient. So in that respect, when people run out I don't talk about my maladies as much as I once did on Facebook, because when I would talk about my pain or anything, there were so many people that would step up to fix me. And I know they meant well. I honestly do. And their approach is to assume that a fix is what's in store, when the reality is, when these things come up for me, it's not that I just kind of, let them go. It's not that I'm going to see a house on fire and say, ooh, let's be mindful about the timbers burning. If I see an opportunity to relieve suffering, I'll ask, is this something that interests you? If not, I'm going to leave it alone. It's none of my business. But for my own case, for my own situation, I look at anything that increases pain as an opportunity to learn. Yeah, I do take a lot of pain medication, don't get me wrong. And I refuse to take any pain medication that alters my mind. I won't take Vicodin or anything like that because it makes me fuzzy. And I want to keep my mind clear. So I take what's going to help me stay mentally clear, as functional as possible, so I can live my life. But I'm not going to walk around and tell other people how they need to live their life. I'm not going to assume that a fix is what they're looking for. I may ask them, so what are you doing with this? How are you using this as your teacher? Sounds like my boys are up. Hey guys.
What?
I'm doing a video, okay?
I know.
Okay.
Keep the puppies away from me.
I understand.
They get my pajamas wet.
I understand. Take a deep breath.
That's a stage. Woo.
I know. Take a deep breath, buddy.
Who's your favorite Marvel superhero
Okay.
now?
We'll talk in a bit, okay?
Who's your favorite
Connor?
Marvel superhero? This is
Connor?
just one question.
No, I'm doing a video. We'll talk in a second, okay, buddy? Just a second. Connor's very excited. We went to go see a movie last night, and he's still really focused on that experience. So what I'm essentially saying here is one of the most powerful things that we can do with our mind and with our life is to learn the virtue of learning from our experience and being with our experience with two main outcomes in mind. The first outcome being to let go of that desire to run from it all the time. And secondly, to embrace the ability that we have to learn from it. And the core feature in that is unlearning your reactivity. Oh my goodness, this is terrible. Oh my God, I better get from this. This is dangerous. When you unlearn that reactivity, something that I teach with every session with my clients, when you unlearn the reactivity, you can learn to be the observer, you can learn to be the student, and you can grow in ways you never imagined. So I want you to just consider that. I said some things a little bit ago that I want to encourage you to watch this again and think about some of the things I suggested. And most importantly, think about how I can help you with these things. And then reach out to me and we'll have a conversation about how powerful this could be if you implement it in your own life. So I'm going to let you go for now. Thank you so much for tuning in, Sarah, Sandy, Phoebe. I really appreciate you. This has been Brian, and we'll talk again soon.